After disastrous losses in Singapore, the Philippines, and Indonesia, fate lies in the United States Pacific Fleet. Despite our modern navy, we currently are outgunned and outnumbered by the Japanese. We have to make do with our current fleet. Comfib Pack rushes to relieve Anzac and United States forces in Port Moresby, arriving in approximately 225 hours, a bit over a week. They contain 4,400 tons of supply, and Crew Div 9, consisting of USS Honolulu, St. Louis, Boise, Helena, and Phoenix, lead the large convoy of merchants. Crew Div 9's job is to stabilize the supply to Port Moresby, pave a way through the Gilbert and Solomon Islands, and soften the Japanese air power, as well as sink any and all Japanese ships that may threaten the 2nd Marine Division aboard Comfib Pack. Joining this merry crew of ships is SS-233, USS Herring. Her construction was rushed as the need for superior fleet subs increased. Originally, she was slated to help in the Atlantic, though due to our dire circumstances in the Pacific, she will find comfort in its nice warm waters. Crew Div 3 with Richmond, Trenton, and Concord, as well as Crew Div 4 with Portland, Warrington, Somers, Chicago, and Indianapolis, will patrol Wake Island to disrupt any attempts of an attack on Midway. This is our situation. On the 27th, Crew Div 9 is hit by multiple air attacks by Zeros, Key-45s, and H-6K Mavics. While necessary, the operation comes at the cost of minor damages to Honolulu and Boise, as well as leaving USS Phoenix dead in the water. Phoenix is ordered by Rear Admiral Herbert F. Leary aboard Honolulu to return to base. Unfortunately, we've already suffered our first casualty of the skirmish. With Phoenix's sacrifice, we are able to land 900 men of the 3rd Infantry Division to assist the defenders of Port Moresby on the 2nd of March, 3 a.m. Crew Div 9 is only able to take a short break before radar contact is made at Milne Bay, an invasion force on its way. This will be the first major engagement. Bowfighters from Milne Bay are scrambled to hold off the invasion force until Crew Div 9 can engage. Over the radio, the news gets worse. Pilots identify 1 battleship, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 3 destroyers. This battle is way over Crew Div 9's weight class, but the engagement must be taken to prevent the bombardment of strategic targets. As if it couldn't get worse, Leary's task force was spotted by one of the scouting aircraft from the invasion force. And to top it all off, the bowfighters ended up missing their target. Leary now would have to evade a battle fleet of Japanese ships while undermanned and survive multiple air attacks simultaneously. This would be quite the trial for the 4 light cruisers, and at 11:45, 6 air contacts were spotted on radar, torpedo bombers. St. Louis takes evasive actions, dodging 4 torpedoes, one of the aircraft slamming into Boise's stern after being shot down. Luckily, the bombers struck the aft armor belt, causing minor fires to break out. Though, at 12:46, the real battle begins. Japanese destroyers quickly sent to the bottom. Rear Admiral Leary orders St. Louis to break formation and speed ahead for the flank. But this order would be his last, for his ship was hit minutes later by several large bombs from Japanese aircraft. This order of cutting off an escape would be followed for the rest of the battle, even after their precious flagship USS Honolulu's sinking. . The sinking of USS Honolulu, the order of retreat is considered by the captain, who is now in charge after the death of Leary, Captain Charles H. Morrison. However, he claims if we falter now, the Imperial Japanese Navy will have a turkey shoot with confib pack convoy. Now is the time to think about others. This seems to rally at least some of the crews of the ships, as guns keep firing. Determination to sink an invasion fleet at first seems hopeless, but the Japanese side tells a different story. Japanese ships don't have the one thing that makes US ships so powerful. Surface search radar, a mostly accurate tool helping us at long ranges the Japanese might struggle to see us, even with binoculars. In a rage of revenge, St. Louis fires her guns at the battleship Congo, desperate to sink their flagship right back. Their guns literally red hot while constantly firing. Amazingly, luck, however, changed in favor of the Americans. Another Japanese destroyer sunk, and then, at 13:05, IJN heavy cruiser Miyoko slipped under the water. Just a minute later, battleship IJN Congo also sank. With such a quick succession of losses, the Japanese line started to falter. The engagement was going much better than expected. However, a problem was found. After 20 minutes of constant fire, the American light cruiser's ammo racks were running on empty. The stress from the shelling had the three remaining US ships aching. Heavy lists and engine issues plagued all of the ships on the battlefield. At 13:15, both sides gave the order to retreat, having lost their respective flagships, heavy damage and low ammo being some of the causes. With the loss of one light cruiser to one battleship, one heavy cruiser, and 3 destroyers, victory fell to the Americans, though at the costly price of a highly decorated admiral. They'd cleared the way for confib pack, saving thousands of American lives. The Battle of Milne Bay will certainly be a turning point. When hearing these losses, it's easy to say America won, but with how tight budgets are, and when ships are said to be needed elsewhere, we simply cannot afford losses like this in the future. Crew Div 9 is left in shambles, not even able to make 20 knots. Yes, they may make it back home, however, we're now down 5 light cruisers, a whole division for 1 breakthrough. Its success will soon be measured by confib pack's success, as it is yet to reach the Solomon Islands. a horrific choke point squished between two Japanese airports. Morning of the 4th of March, the trap was sprung. Several bombers were launched at the U.S. convoy. Sailors woken up by the sounds of clacks and horns, and the morning shift crews on machine guns and cannons. Aircraft from Santa Cruz, Guadalcanal, Shortland, Rabaul, and Kavang pounce on the convoy. AA crews killed a total of 36 out of the 56 that attacked them. For the cost of one destroyer, which was scuttled after an H-6K crashed into its bridge. Though as it turns out, they may not be the only convoy in the Solomon Sea. As one approaches Milne Bay, the anti-air power seems enough, as a couple of P-38s hit the approaching ships, inflicting heavy damage. With the remaining Japanese ships scared off, the Air Force dealt with. Confed Peck will arrive at Port Moresby in just 2 days. However, news arrives that Port Moresby may have just been fine with Crew Div 9's help, as the Japanese are starved for resources. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and be sure to comment with any input. I hope you enjoyed the series, and have a wonderful day.